Alright, hey guys, this is Jared with Razel's Revenge Gaming coming at you again with a video this week. Surprise, surprise. Um, yeah, I missed last week because there wasn't really a whole bunch going on and I was just a bit worn out. So I apologize about that. I don't mean to make that a every week kind of scenario, but you know, it is what it is. Life happens. So, anyways, I've got a few things to let you guys know. Just a couple of news updates and some rumors like usual. Nothing too extravagant. There's still not a whole bunch going on out there, which is fine. You know, everything is gearing up towards the launch of the new systems and everything, so it's going to be pretty quiet on the frontier as far as actual news goes. You're going to have the stupid little clickbait articles and all that good stuff, and that's just kind of the way it is now, so hooray. Anyways, pressing on. Oh yeah, you're going to hear paper flipping because, again, I'm old school and my mind is not what it used to be, so here goes. First little tidbit, not very interesting or whatever, just the Xbox games with gold for this month and the PS Plus games this month. For Xbox, you're going to have TT Isle of Man, I believe that's what it's called. It's like a motorcycle racing game. You're going to have Call of Cthulhu, Fable Heroes, and the original Star Wars Battlefront, which is pretty awesome. However, to warn you, if you aren't really one of the people that likes to go back and play the older games, they're really hard to look at, and you'll be like, what the fuck did I think was awesome back then compared to now. Still, nonetheless, pretty cool to have if you don't already have it on your older systems or whatever. It'd be cool for a couple of games with the original Battlefront, then, you know, go and stick with Battlefront 2, which, by the by, has improved tremendously. If you were like me and you just threw your hands up in the air and said, screw this game when it first came out, give Battlefront 2 a second chance and you probably won't be disappointed. So, moving on to the PS Plus, you have the BioShock Collection, The Sims 4, and Firewall 0 Hour. That's a pretty solid lineup. The BioShock Collection is great. I mean, if you haven't already played those games by now or bought the collection when it came out a couple of years ago, now's your chance, but, you know, whatever. Sims 4, I'm not a Sims dude. I just can't do it. It's like micromanaging my life inside of a simulation, you know, whatever. I get it, though. It's cool to, like, keep your sim locked up somewhere and watch them set the house on fire or whatever, but, you know. And Firewall 0 Hour, I got nothing. No idea what the hell that is, but, hey, it's going to be on PS Plus. So, we have other news too. Let's see. Oh, Apex Legends is getting a mobile port, or a mobile version. This was announced a couple of months back, I believe, but they're kind of more close to a release date. Probably going to be the first fiscal half of the year of 2021. Which, I mean, sounds like next year, but fiscal years are different than actual years. So, if you've ever managed anything, you'll know what I'm talking about. But so that would put the release date between October 1st of this year and September 20th of next year. So, you know, it is what it is, kind of thing. That's going to be your first half of the fiscal year for 2021. So, you know, still a little bit of ways, but I guess at least now there's a tentative release date window. Oh, yeah, Nintendo news. The Switch actually outsells the Xbox One in just, 34 months since it's been around. Not really surprised at that, considering the terrible, terrible launch that the Xbox One had way back when. Just one PR blunder after another. Xbox lost this go around. Not really much you can say about that. So, hats off to you, Nintendo. Good job. I knew it was going to happen. Whenever they release a system, it usually does really well, against even against the big two, Sony and Xbox, or Sony and Microsoft. They have some loyal fans, Nintendo. Um, Outer Worlds is getting released for the Nintendo Switch, so yay. That's pretty cool, I guess, if you haven't had a chance to play it. I still remain firm with my last video about Jesus stop making ports of games for the Switch. It seems like a weird fluff strategy for the Nintendo Switch library while we all wait for actual iterations of games that are worth a shit, but I'll leave it at that. So, I don't want to start a huge riot or anything with Nintendo loyal fans, so got nothing but love for you, believe it or not, but, it's just my personal opinion. We also have two interesting little things. Well, I guess probably more than two, but here goes. Doom Eternal is going to have 0 microtransactions, instead opting to use in-game experience for you to get cosmetics and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. However, I don't know if that will last, given the current climate of the gaming industry, but it's a move in the right direction. They also said that with their multiplayer in the last game, they kind of used the kitty gloves, so expect the multiplayer in the new Doom Eternal to be like balls out, just everything we loved about, Doom multiplayer to begin with. Now, there's supposedly going to be works of a new Silent Hill movie, so that's kind of cool. Kojima, I believe, is going to be helping with that, and the dude who did the Resident Evil movies, and somebody else. Anyways, that's going to be pretty cool. I told you a little while back that, Kojima has said he was wanting his people to start doing movies, and that I thought that Death Stranding was like a prototype for that, so we'll see what happens. I'm actually pretty excited about that one. The last Silent Hill movie, it was okay. I didn't like it or hate it, but it was, at least we got something with Silent Hill. Moving on from that one, though, the directors of this Silent Hill movie are actually looking into doing a Fatal Frame movie as well. A little lesser known horror title, but still, that's pretty badass as well. If you ask me, Fatal Frame is right up there with Silent Hill, if not maybe slightly a little better in the whole horror genre thing, but that's just a personal preference, don't hate me. And there's also talk of not only are we getting a movie, but there might be 2 possible new Silent Hill games coming out sometime. So that's cool. Silent Hill is always a strong one. I mean, even though the last 1 or 2 didn't really do that well and received some backlash for not living up to what everyone wanted, still pretty good games, I think. But I guess it's because the horror genre isn't really struggling right now, but there's not a whole lot to choose from if you're not PC Master Race. So there's that. Now, some of the bigger news I'll save for after this. We have Patapon 2 is to get a remaster, which it's already out. It came out the 30th of January. So if you enjoyed that game or whatever, they remastered it, so go out and get it. It benefits from the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. So again, if you enjoyed it, it's out. Go get it. Destiny 2, Season 10 is supposed to focus more heavily on PvP. Now, me being a PvE player, I think that's kind of crappy, but hold on. At this point in time, a lot of the stuff, events and everything that they have done, like major events, are pretty much PvE, so hats off to the PvP players for actually getting a season or some events or whatever that actually circulate around what they like to do. So that's cool. I mean, PvP already gets special events every week, give or take, if you want to count the double XP for Crucible and Gambit, and the Trials, Iron Banner, stuff like that. Other different little PvP modes they'll cycle into Crucible and everything. They try. Bungie tries to make PvP better and exciting, but it's cool to see that there's going to be almost an entire season dedicated to that. I think that'll probably make the fan base a lot happier with the way things are going, or the direction that they're going with. So, kudos to you guys. E3. So E3 this year is, I don't know, it's a dinosaur, and honestly probably needs to go the way of the dinosaurs, but regardless, they're teaming up with a little studio. It's not a studio, my bad. It's a store and like a creative production agency called I Am 8-Bit. They're teaming up with them to try to make the floor action more inclusive and, I guess just overall more interactive and exciting, to try and breathe life back into E3. They're going to have like surprise guests and all that good stuff. So, I mean, I guess we'll see what's gonna happen with that. Once you see things like E3 or events like E3 or whatever try to branch out to make themselves more relevant and to bring more people to it, if they do it once or twice, that's kind of expected, but it seems that we're seeing this more and more with just gaming events in general. I don't really know if they're all going the way of the dinosaur, or if it's just going to be like E3 that's grasping at straws to try to remain relevant or not. But anyways, I stand by that E3 is probably not much longer for this world, and good riddance. I mean, I would much prefer the big three do their own event, and just let that be. Everyone tunes in to what they want to watch and all that, and call it a day, done. So, Now, for the bigger bits of news, we have the Activision Blizzard debacle with the Warcraft 3 Reforged launch. Now, holy fuck, Blizzard and Activision can't seem to catch a fucking break. And I'm going to blame Activision for that. Not so much Blizzard, even though they've had some really shitty PR stuff, like the Hong Kong thing, and God, just Google it, and it's terrible. But I'm going to blame Activision. 80% of it. 80% I'll blame Activision, 20% I'll blame Blizzard. But it's a dumpster fire, man. If you haven't really been keeping up with it, basically it launched buggy as shit. The graphics were supposedly, upscaled to 4K, but if you do a side-by-side comparison of the old Warcraft 3 versus what they have now, old Warcraft 3 actually looks a lot better. A lot of the stuff they showed you back with, I don't know if it was BlizzCon or what, but a lot of the stuff they showed you when they first announced it was zoomed in cutscenes, and they looked good, they looked great, but the actual end product is a third person like takeaway view of that cutscene where it's just muddled graphics and like you have your characters just there talking to each other, and it pretty terrible. It it has the worst Metacritic score in history. It is sitting at a whopping 0.6 out of 10 right now. Yeah, you heard that right. 0.6. Not even a 1, but a 0.6 out of 10. User reviews are just terrible. Of course, you have your corporate shill reviews that are over there on the other side with, like, I think 50s, 60s, and the highest I saw was a 72. But they're trying, so, as always with, like, Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes, fuck what the critics say. Go buy user review, because you're gonna have your corporate shills that are sucking that dick just to pay the bills, and they'll lead you astray. So go buy user review pretty much all the fucking time, and you should be good. But yeah, there's Blizzard is also refusing refunds and banning people that were showing people how to go about getting refunds. It's like I said, dude. It's a dumpster fire. There's no reason why it should be in the current state that it is, and why Blizzard is taking the actions that they're taking, because it, like, banning people for showing other customers who bought the game how to get a refund. It's bad business. I mean, I know you don't want to. Blizzard doesn't want to lose the money for the refund, but at the same time, you put out a shit product, man. Just own up to it. Be like, my bad, we fucked up. Here's your money back. Gonna go cry in the corner now. But, you know, they're also doing a thing with, if you use the map creator, anything you create with the map creator, any kind of mode, specific map, gameplay, whatever, it's theirs. You don't own what you created. Now, there's a bunch of, I guess, technical reasons why that would make sense, because you're using their tools and all that good stuff to make your map or your game mode or whatever, but they're just trying to avoid the whole Dota and League of Legends crap all over again, because they lost out on a lot of money with that. So, you know, but it's still crap. They could at least, you know, give you credit for it, or give you 30 or 40% of what it makes, or something like that. But no, just outright, you know, hey, I see you're creative and are better than the people we have working for us, but guess what? You used our shit, so it's ours. Fuck you. Thanks, is basically their take on that. That's a sad state of things for Activision and Blizzard. And like I said, I blame Activision. As much as I hate to say it, dude, I'm going to buy Diablo 4, because I should have a PC that can be able to run it by then. But anyways, I'm going to buy Diablo 4. And it's not because it's a Blizzard product or anything like that. It's because it's Diablo. And I love that franchise. That's pretty much it, dude. Yeah, hate me for it. I get it. I understand, but it's Diablo. I enjoy it, so, you know. There's also another weird thing with Activision and Blizzard, and it involves Google. Apparently, Activision, Blizzard, and Google signed an esports and cloud service deal, which ultimately means that YouTube will be the only streaming service that will be able to stream Activision Blizzard titles with esports, you know, like Overwatch, Call of Duty, League of Legends, Hearthstone, not League of Legends, my bad, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, you know, stuff like that. That's actual competitive stuff. YouTube will have exclusive rights to stream it. And that's pretty terrible, and we should be concerned about that. Now, there's also another thing where the deal makes it to where Activision Blizzard has to use the Google Cloud service for their services, or their cloud storage, or whatever the hell it is. It's a multi-year agreement for both of these things. So Overwatch League isn't doing so great right now. I guess Call of Duty it always does well, regardless. I mean, numbers may dip, numbers may rise, but it's pretty solid all around. You know, God, I can't talk. Hearthstone and World of Warcraft, I guess, decent enough to be around. But making those things strictly on YouTube only seems like a shiesty move, since YouTube is, I mean, it's a giant, but it's getting enough competition now to where there are viable alternatives, but they don't want to use the viable alternatives for whatever reason. I mean, YouTube still reaches a lot of people. It's the main service for everything right now, which, I mean, this video will go on YouTube as well as BitChute. But the both of them working hand in hand, it scares me as far as giving the alternative tech routes a chance. And I know streaming like Twitch, Mixer, DLive, stuff like that, taking that away from them, it'll hurt viewership, it'll hurt numbers and all, but I think it'll help smaller people, franchises, whatever, to get noticed if it's not there, on a specific day or whatever, or people just decide to boycott it because it's on YouTube and they'll go watch something else on Twitch or Mix or, whatever. People have their reasons. But that is something that's pretty concerning. Now, we'll move from the news and go to the rumors. There's not a lot, just a couple that I thought was kind of interesting. This is, going a little bit longer than I wanted. I'm sorry, everyone. Trying to speed this up here. Rumors. Kind of a shitty little rumor, but it's a rumor nonetheless. Halo Infinite might actually have grappling hooks. There was a video in the, We Are 343 Industries video. Shows some pretty old footage of Halo Infinite. It's like 10 months old, give or take, where they actually use a grappling hook. That's kind of cool. I always thought that, Master Chief was pretty slow moving as is, but it'd be kind of cool to do like the whole grappling hook movement thing with Master Chief. That would be pretty badass. But, anyways, it's just a rumor and may or may not make the final cut, so don't get your hopes up on that. Okay. The Sims development team is working on an unannounced game. No one knows if it's going to be another Sims or if it's a whole other IP in general. It was just a whole bunch of listings for some pretty vital positions of a new game project that they listed. So there might be another Sims coming out sometime soon, or a whole new, well, not soon, but sometime, or a whole new IP from them, so that's something to kind of keep tabs on. The Resident Evil playtest event in March has been sparking some new rumors about another Resident Evil project. Now, the reason this is the case is because they've been doing or have done the Resident Evil playtests prior to a new Resident Evil being launched, because I think the last one they did was right before Resident Evil 3 and what is the other one called? I wrote it down. Project Resistance were announced or came out, were announced to come out. So there may be another one in the works. We all know Resident Evil 8, I think it is, or whatever, is going to be out and about, and Chris Redfield's going to be back in it. I think it's him that's in it, but whatever. We all know about that one, so that wouldn't be it. So maybe there'll be another one rolling around. But, if you're looking forward to Resident Evil 3, it'll be out in April this year, so, get your Resident Evil fix there. Last but not least, with the rumors part, is Sony putting out a survey asking about their remote play options and if people would like to remote play on their Switch or even their Xbox One. I'd take this with a grain of salt. It's probably just Sony getting information on how to beef up their remote play with the PS5. It would be really awesome if they would do that with the Nintendo Switch or the Xbox One, but let's face it, out of those two, the Switch would be the most likely, and even then, Nintendo doesn't play well with others. So, like I said, it's just a rumor, a grain of salt. It would be cool if they would do that, but they're probably just trying to get a feel for everyone's thoughts and concerns about their remote play options, and I mean, that's cool. Let them, tweak things and make the experience all the more better on the PS5. But that that about sums everything up with what I have. Hopefully I'll have another video next week, because I know that taking that week off probably hurt me with the whole YouTube algorithm and being recommended and everything. But it is what it is. As always, guys, I appreciate the watching of the videos, you guys subscribing and sharing my stuff, all that. Without that, this little channel would not have grown to the mighty 15 that it has right now. But I mean, you understand, I'm not really laughing at the 15. It's just it started out with like 2 and now I'm at 15. So apparently something's working, and I have you guys to thank for it, because I can only do so much. So thank you to the subscribers that I have now, and let's just get the word out about this. And as always, interactions, comments, let me know what you want to hear next time. Visit the website, look around. I've got some content creators on there that I help support. Some local businesses and all that. Just go to the website, poke around. If you want to actually become a content creator for RRG, then the link is on there as well. Click on there, read it, and get in contact with me, and we'll see what happens from there. But anyways, you guys have a good one. Have a nice, safe rest of the week, and I'll probably see you guys again Saturday or Sunday, somewhere around there. Have a good one.